Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Josie's Point of View, where we focus on human interest stories from the Carolinas and beyond. Today's Friday and it's March the 18th, 2022. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new to my channel, I'd like to extend to you a warm welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you find the information here to be informative. And if you're a returning viewer, by all means, thank you for coming back. You know, I always say the tide changes so frequently here on these YouTube streets. So you always have to acknowledge where your support comes from. And I want you to know I sincerely thank you for your support. Feel free to like and to share this video. And don't forget to subscribe. We're stepping away from the Carolinas today to cover a story military related coming out of Rhode Island. Take a look at the headline. And it reads, woman faked having a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star and was granted hundreds of thousands of dollars in charitable contributions. I'll provide you with a summary here, and as always, I'll place links to a few of the full articles in the description box. Well, today we're talking about stolen valor, and I'm sure many of you are familiar with that topic or the term, but just in case you are not, stolen valor is when someone falsely claims to have served in the military, and as a result, they're out there wearing that military rank, military uniform, different awards, but they also end up applying for and receiving benefits and grants they're not entitled to receive, money that has been earmarked for legitimate veterans out there. And there's a law in existence called the Stolen Valor Act, where people who are fraudulently claiming military services, they're prosecuted. And I've seen news reports where individuals, mostly men, but in a few cases there are women, have been prosecuted under this law and sent to jail. And that's our topic for today. And as an introduction, let me present to you two of our most prestigious combat-related awards, the Purple Heart and the Bronze Star. Now, the Purple Heart is awarded to a service member who is wounded in combat, and a qualification is that the service member must be wounded as a result of enemy action. So not everyone who's injured in combat gets one. You have to meet a very high criteria. And then the next one is the Bronze Star of Valor, and that's awarded for bravery against the enemy during combat. And it's the fourth highest military award for bravery that we have that's combat related. And these awards are not bestowed in isolation. They're publicized, they're recorded, they become part of history because they're not something that you get every day. So when someone is awarded a Purple Heart or a Bronze Star, their peers know about it. Everybody knows. And as I already mentioned, the majority of those I have known or read about in connection with stolen valor have been men. But today we're changing that statistics a bit because the subject of our discussion today, she does not fit into the stereotype. And I'm talking about 31-year-old Sarah Jane Kavanaugh, pictured here, wearing a VFW hat, and that's the Veterans of Foreign War. And I'll get back to that in a few minutes because it's quite comical. But Sarah James Kavanaugh is a former employee of the Providence VA Medical Center. I read a report that says she was a social worker at the VA. Well, she was recently arrested and charged with fraudulently claiming to have served in the military, and in addition to that, she would receive benefits that she did not earn. And this is rather interesting because she used her access within the VA healthcare system to become a criminal. Report says she fraudulently claimed to be a wounded United States Marine Corps veteran and that she was the recipient of a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star for Valor, and she schemed and lied and manipulated the system, which allowed her to collect hundreds of thousands of dollars in contributions. Now, a listing of charges was recently released by the Rhode Island District Attorney's Office, and they have broken down each of the offenses Kavanaugh is alleged to have committed. So let's get into them. So Kavanaugh used the actual person identification information of a Marine veteran and falsely created discharge paperwork for herself. So she created a DD-214 for herself using information that she found in another patient's record. And in that discharge document, Kavanaugh claimed to have served in the United States Marine Corps from 2009 to 2016, achieved the rank of corporal, and that she was honorably discharged, and that she was wounded in a Iraq and Afghanistan. And the recipient, she was also the recipient of a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star. So she apparently did some heroic acts in combat, and she was wounded as well, wounded by enemy action, I might say. She also created her own set of medical problems and medical-related documentation to go along with her scheme. Kavanaugh then used a Veterans Administration email account, one that she was issued to her as a VA employee, because I already mentioned she worked as a VA. She used that email account to purchase and later display in a Marine Corps uniform a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star. She went for the big one. She really wanted to create an effect. She now had a fake DD-214 or discharge summary. She had a medical diagnosis. She created medical notes to accompany them, and she had a Marine Corps uniform, and then she made sure it was carefully adorned with her rank of corporal as well as her awards for combat-related injury, the Purple Heart and the Bronze Star. She was now ready to execute her plan. And according to the charging document, Kavanaugh, claiming to be a Purple Heart and Bronze Star recipient, she collected approximately $207,000 from the Wounded Warrior organization, and they gave her that money to pay for groceries and physical therapy. I wonder why she needed physical therapy. It was not mentioned. In fact, they did not identify her choice of combat wounds. That was not mentioned, but apparently she needed physical therapy. Someone should have asked her, why aren't you getting your physical therapy from the VA? At least that's what I would have asked. But then again, I'm sure she would have had a believable answer to that question. And then in another scheme, Kavanaugh, posing again as a combat veteran, she went to an organization called the Code of Support, and this is their mission statement. It says, we change lives by connecting military veterans and caregivers and families to the support they have earned through their service and sacrifices. Kavanaugh went to this organization and she collected $18,474 for mortgage support, repair of her home furnace, a gym membership, and payment for other unspecified bills. And still posing as a combat veteran, but a combat veteran with cancer related to military service, Kavanaugh collected $4,700 from an internet-based fundraising site. And Sarah Kavanaugh benefited not only financially, but the social recognition she received was just astonishing. And here in this photo, she's wearing the hat for the Veterans of Foreign War. Would you believe she succeeded in penetrating that organization and being selected to the position of commander for that local chapter? In her hand, she's holding a memorial plaque for a fallen soldier, and it reads, never forget. Never forget, damned. That's all I can say. Damn, girl, you're good. And here she is wearing her VFW hat and a beautiful smile, standing next to two individuals, most likely two individuals of influence, and the decision was made to blot out their faces because they no longer wants to be associated with a fraud. But it's not unusual for commanders to go to Congress and to lobby and so forth, but wherever she is, she's happy. Look at her face. And this is the picture that really gets me. Here is Sarah Kavanaugh, the fraud, sitting at an event that's dedicated to Purple Heart. It says, dedicating the Purple Heart Trail in Rhode Island in August of 2021. And she's obviously being the guest of honor. She's being recognized. And look at all those fake ribbons on her chest. Girl, unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Kavanaugh also fraudulently received $16,000 from this organization here. Their name is Creative Vets, and they're a nonprofit that assists veterans with PTSD and traumatic brain injuries, and they provide opportunities by the use of the arts and music and creative writing and so forth. But its goal is to empower veterans suffering from PTSD and traumatic brain injuries with tools that they can use for the rest of their lives. She took $16,000 out of this organization. Now, the charging document says that, along with her faked military discharge documents and a medical diagnosis and bills, she took all of those things. She submitted them to Hunter 7 Foundation, which is an organization that provides monetary aid to veterans with cancer. And Kavanaugh did so. She was requesting financial assistance falsely claiming that she was being treated for cancer as a result of exposure to burn pit in Afghanistan and inhaling the particulate matter in an aftermath of an improvised explosive device. That girl was good. She was so damn good. I could never get away with it because I would not be able to keep up with those lies. I would get caught. But she maybe that's one of the characteristics of a fraud. You have to be able to keep up with your story. Nonetheless, the leadership herein was suspicious of Kavanaugh, and they contacted the Providence VA to get clarification on her veteran status. And I already mentioned that they had issued her a check, and they went back and they canceled it when they realized that she was lying about her military service. Apparently, another female Marine told Hunter 7 leadership she would have known about Kavanaugh if they served at the same time, and especially if she received a Purple Heart, because I already mentioned it's a big deal, and it's never awarded in isolation. Everybody knows about it. She felt that Kavanaugh's story was not adding up and that further clarification was needed. And as you can imagine, subsequent search of DoD database revealed that there's no evidence that Kavanaugh ever served in the military. There's no evidence of her name and that Social Security number. She never served. It was all a lie. So she was arrested and charged with fraud, and she did appear before the magistrate earlier this month, I believe the first week in March, and she was released on a $50,000 bond. I'm not sure about a follow-up court date. You know, stories such as this one really bothers me for a number of reasons. One, I've worked with veterans for decades, and you have veterans out there who are just struggling. They're struggling with their medical conditions. They're struggling just to find economic resources. They're struggling to find these organizations who are out there willing to help. And some of them, they never find them. But here you have a woman in her capacity as a healthcare provider, because she was as a social worker, she's part of the healthcare team, that she has access to resources, and she did not use it to help the veterans. She used it for her personal greed and to benefit herself financially. And I think it's simply deplorable. I have no sympathy for her. Let her go to jail. If she wanted to be a Marine or she wanted to be a veteran, regardless of service, she should have put on the uniform just like I did and served. Plain and simple. And that's all I have for you right now. Feel free to leave me a comment below and let me know what you think about this video. And of course, feel free to like it and to share it. And if you haven't done so already, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel by clicking on that red subscribe button. It's on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. And if you click on this notification bell right here, you'll be the first to know whenever a new video is uploaded. I thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.